Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is April 16th. Now, you may think this is tax day, but actually, you might have thought it was yesterday. But it's not tax day today either, believe it or not. You can wait until tomorrow. That's because today is a federal holiday. I thought I'd just put that out to you. If some of you have to pay your taxes like I do, you still have to tomorrow to get that in the mail. So there you go. I wanted to get that out first before I tell you about our show today. All right, on our show is Bill Walsh, and he's on the third board. He's the first vice president, going to give us an update of what's going on with third. And then we have a couple guests from Concerned Citizens, and coming up, they're going to be having a meeting celebrating Earth Day. Steve Carman will be here from the Video Club, and he has brought us some video, some NASA video, and very interesting. They're going to be having a meeting coming up, and that's going to be their topic. And of course, Steve was involved with all this many years ago, so it should be really cool to find out all about this. Great video, too. I had a chance to look at it. Then Dr. Trim will be here from Irvine Clinical Research, and he's going to talk about the three main factors that may cause Alzheimer's. And he's talked about this before, but there's so many advances going on in kind of pinpointing what may cause Alzheimer's that we're going to talk about that today. Now, as far as meetings, there's only one. GRF has their Media and Communication Committee meeting, 1:30 in the boardroom. Now, let's get to the weather. And a beautiful weekend, wasn't it? It was absolutely just gorgeous out. And today, we're actually cooler by maybe, I want to say, compared to yesterday, by probably 8 to 10 degrees. And one of the reasons is we're getting an onshore flow coming in, onshore winds. Not too much in this area. We'll definitely get some breezes today, but there's some cloud cover in the morning. That'll go away. We are going to have pretty sunny skies out there, but overall only 65 degrees. So compared to yesterday, that's almost like I said, about an 8 to 10 degree drop. And by the way, last week, I was looking at the temperatures of last week at this time, and we were at 90 degrees. So much cooler, but still beautiful. We're more like fall conditions right now. That's what it feels like throughout this week. You can see, not going to get real warm, but very pleasant. We're going to have mostly sunny skies. Now, on Thursday, there is a very, very tiny chance of some morning drizzle coming in. Really, it's about 10%. But the temperatures will drop. As you can see, we kind of go up and down this week. Tomorrow, I have 69, 71 on Wednesday, and down to the mid-60s on Thursday, then back up again on Friday. So overall, pretty sunny this week. We're going to have some morning clouds as we do today, and Thursday we'll see what happens there, but really the chance of any kind of drizzle is, like I said, maybe 10%, but that's going to be about it, if anything. And now for our weather around Orange County today, and beautiful weather. I mean, it is cooler out there today. As I said, this feels more like fall weather when we get those cool, crisp days out, and that's what we have. So just gorgeous weather everywhere. And like I said, the offshore breezes, the onshore breezes today, not offshore. I'm usually used to saying that. The onshore breezes today will pick up in the afternoon. There are wind warnings in certain areas, but not for us. It really shouldn't be too much at all. Overall, it should be just a nice little breeze coming in the afternoon. Could get a little strong, but not bad. Now let's talk about the Village Games. And they started last week, and all different things that you can participate in. I think you can still sign up. This is, of course, table tennis, which is always one of the bigger events here. And if you've ever been up to the table tennis room and just watched, even if you don't play, these players are pretty phenomenal. And it's amazing how well they can play and how quick they are, their reflexes. Just look at that. It's incredible to watch. So table tennis was last Friday up here in the community center. There are over 360 residents that are competing in this year's games, with Len Howard directing the table tennis portion of the senior games. And other events include archery, badminton, basketball, bicycling, bocce, bridge, equestrian, pickleball, volleyball, just all kinds of different things that I think you can still get involved in, because the games go all the way to April 30th. So you can check to see if there's some games that you would like to get involved in, and register for that. Everyone gets a t-shirt. You can see those two table tennis players are wearing the t-shirt that they give out. So a lot of fun, and every year they get so many different people competing in this, and I think overall there's about 24, 25 events. So I just named a few, but there are a lot more that you can do and get involved in. So check it out. The Village Games going on right now. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Kart Mart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Kart Mart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
Are you or someone you know having difficulty with day-to-day activities? I'm Lori with ActiCare. You want to stay in your home but worry about falling or losing your independence. We at ActiCare can help. A personalized plan is designed with as much or as little care as you need. Please call for a free care consultation to make your life easier and more enjoyable.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free. Please call us for details.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From our delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
And Bill Walsh is with us today. He is on the third board, and always good to see you. First thing you're going to talk about today is a couple open positions, right?
Right, Ken. Last week was kind of a little bit of a, actually part of it was shock, part of it wasn't so much. Bert Moldow left the third board and was elected to the GRF board in an election last Tuesday.
That's right, yeah.
And I think he's going to bring a lot of expertise on the energy side of issues there for GRF. I think GRF has a lot of opportunities for energy issues. And so. And Susie, I haven't talked to her since she resigned, but just talking to several board members, I think some personal things came up in her life that she had to deal with. So I wanted to let everybody know that their applications are now open for those two positions. Those two positions are another 18 months. They both end in October of 2019. The applications can be picked up here in the community center on the second floor, or you can have them probably mailed to you. You can call Catherine Lassiter at 949-597-4265. The applications are due by noon on Friday, May 4th.
Okay, so there's some time.
There's some time. It's 2 to 3 weeks. And the board is part of that application process is going to require the applicants to submit a 300-word candidate statement by electronic format or in person no later than noon on May 4th. And on May 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon, the board is going to have a special meeting, and we're going to interview the candidates and make selections at that time. So
all right.
I hope that's enough information for everybody.
All right. Very good. So moving on, once again, walkway lighting.
It's been forever.
Yes.
We did pilots. We had to go out and really at night and look at these. And we started out with just simple bulb replacement in the existing fixtures.
Right.
And those fixtures were anywhere from 18 to 24 inches high. And they really didn't throw much light, even with the addition of LED lighting or integrated circuit, LED circuit.
Right.
And they weren't throwing a lot of light. So we went back to the vendor who was doing this for us, and U.S. Energy, and we asked them to raise the height of those little lights. We had a demo, and it didn't seem to do much with the fixture top that they had. So we went back, and a couple of weeks ago we had some bollards, 32-inch high bollards put in, and with 4,000 Kelvin lights in them, and they really tended to spread the light. The dispersion of the light was much better than anything we had seen. And we decided that was probably going to be the best option for us. So anybody that wants to go out at night in the dark, you can go behind the 2354 building or the 2355 building, and along the walkways there, that's off of Via Mariposa. Okay. And you can walk there and see these pilot fixtures with the lighting in them. I just talked to Ernesto and on Friday. And the requests for proposals are in the hands of purchasing right now. They're looking over them, and they're going to submit them out to 2 or 3 different vendors. So that is going to be for 588 lights. That's a lot of walkway lights.
That's a lot of lights.
But
now, let me ask you, are all those replacements or in addition to? In other words, are you upping the amount of physical lights?
They're replacements.
Okay.
One of the things that United Mutual is doing, and that we will probably follow suit on the years to come, is where they find dark spots, and there are a lot of dark spots.
Right.
They will probably trench and continue the circuit along those. Because when you go from incandescent bulbs or you go from CFL's not so much. You save energy. Well, that means that circuit can carry more load.
Yes,
and so we can add other lights along the walkway. So right now we're in the business of replacing existing light fixtures.
It's sort of like Christmas lights. You know, years ago they would say only maybe string 3 strings together, and quite literally now they'll say, oh, you can string like 70 together. You look on the box and don't string more than 70. I don't know who's going to do that, but
exactly.
But that's the difference.
It really is the difference. Yeah. And they don't put out a lot of heat.
No.
And so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Now, street light acquisition, and keep in the vein of lighting here.
Right. Well, we actually signed a contract last October, I believe.
And that was with SCE.
That was SCE. Yeah. It was a contract that SCE said, take it or leave it.
Right.
And we signed it to take control of 788. It varies from 768 to 788 lights, depending on at what time you talk to somebody of how many lights there are. But that's all going to be, that will all be verified before we enter into taking control of those lights, before we actually pay the money to have to take control of those lights. And what's going to start happening is we've engaged Siemens. We've signed a contract with Siemens to do all of the processes that are required by SCE to take control of these lights. And it goes all the way to the California Public Utilities Commission for approval before we actually can sign it. We can actually purchase them. But there are phases to that point. And in those phases, one of the things that Siemens is going to do is going to go out and verify that the inventory that Edison thinks they have matches up with what they find. They're also going to verify that the poles are in good shape. that we're going to acquire, that everything is, the electrical circuitry inside the pole is good, and they're going to test that apparently. They're going to make sure the structural integrity of the poles is good. And then at a second phase down the road, I think staff is going to start talking to Siemens to get prepared for retagging the poles, because right now if you go out to look at one of these street lights, you'll see a metal strip about that big, and it's got a serial number on it with E at the bottom, indicating it's an Edison pole. And so those are going to have to come off and be replaced. And Siemens has tremendous experience with this. They've done it for municipalities all over California and the country. And so this whole process is in pretty good hands. The thing that we need to do, and staff is taking care of this, is to make sure that we initiate these processes at the right time, understand what Edison's going to do for us during the process as we march towards acquiring these streetlights.
Okay, and do you have a time frame yet?
We don't, and I think that that's what they're going to be meeting with Siemens to see at least a time frame for when Siemens is going to do their work.
Okay.
We still don't have any. We were at the bottom of the queue of over 50 municipalities that took advantage of this streetlight acquisition program. So it can be pretty bureaucratic to get through all the paperwork and all the different departments at Edison before it gets, the application gets moved up to the CPUC for final approval. So.
Okay. Now, as far as the energy consultants you're interviewing for, is that part of Siemens? Is that Siemens as well? These are different consultants?
It's a different kind of consulting.
Okay.
It's basically Siemens is, in this case, is taking care of the streetlights. That's their focus. That's what they're going to do. They're going to replace out those streetlights with LED lights. Where they're going to suggest how big of arms that we, how where you can put a 6-foot arm or a 3-foot arm on some of these poles to get more light out onto the street surfaces and the sidewalks that are adjacent to the street there. But these folks are going to be talking about all of the new technologies that are coming up that may help us gain better control of our aging infrastructure.
Okay.
And some of those things are talking about microgrids, building our own grid, into community choice aggregation, which I'll talk about a little bit. There are things that we may be able to do. We've got a situation in our 3-story buildings with the carports and the garages where we're almost at a capacity for all the people plugging into their electric golf carts into. And now we're having manufacturers of vehicles, automobiles, that are coming with a wave of electric vehicles. And we're very concerned that the infrastructure is not going to, we're pretty sure the infrastructure wouldn't support it as it is today. It's a 50-year-old electrical infrastructure. So these folks are going to advise us on alternatives to, ways we can deal with those issues. And the real big elephant in the room is time of use. Now, we all got smart meters on our residences. Okay. What that means that Edison can look at our electricity consumption 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They know when we're using our most electricity. What they have found in their service area is that there used to be one surge of electricity when people went to work, and all the lights went on in all the buildings and all the factories and everything, and it had a big hump, and then it started to dwindle as everybody went home. Well, what they started to find is that everyone's got home entertainment systems. People stay at home and do a lot more activities. They're getting electric vehicles. They're charging their vehicles in the evening. And so they're getting another hump at dinner hour and then beyond. And what we're concerned about is their statements that basically they want to, Edison being the case, want to shift the cost of electricity that's been what they consider burdensome to commercial enterprises. They want to shift more of that over to residential. What does that mean? That means that the rate structure may go up, and that the time of use, that rate structure may penalize people for using electricity later in the day. So instead of having a time of use from noon to 4 that's at the high peak rate, they may extend that to 9 o'clock at night. And I'm just using may. I'm using that word may. But this is because nobody knows what the CPUC is going to allow them to do. But if you think you've got if you think about it, we have an aging community here, And at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a hot August afternoon, they're going to have the air conditioner on, and they're going to be paying peak rate. And what we want to do is look at things that are going to help the community reduce the rates.
Okay.
Now, one of those is community choice aggregation.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is that you go out to a supplier like a wind farm or a solar farm on the desert, and you contract with them for a lower rate on electricity, okay? But it has to be done at the municipal level. We can't, as an HOA, go out and do that.
Right.
And it so happens that last week, some of our city council, I don't know if it was city council people, I think it was the city manager, certainly Chris Macon, and a number of other people were at an SCE presentation over at University of California, Irvine, with a lot of other municipalities talking about these initiatives that Edison provides for municipalities. Well, so we've been doing a lot of these things that I come here to talk about, and Bert Moldau has come and talked about, Steve Leonard has come and talked about, all these in-house, in our homeowners association. We're going to start looking outside of the homeowners associations and start looking at the city and saying, look, what initiatives are cost savings that we can participate in? And so there's a whole lot of things that these energy consultants are going to be able to help us with.
All right. Well, we'll see where that goes.
long-winded, I'm sorry. But
no, that's okay. No, it's interesting. We'll see where all this goes.
It is.
Yeah.
Good.
Very good. Bill, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ken.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I
Have a good
appreciate
day.
you coming on. A lot of good information. And remember, Third's meeting is tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Did you know that we are living longer, healthier lives than ever before? And did you know that social interaction, brain stimulation, and exercise improve your quality of life? Did you know the Saddleback College Emeritus Institute offers 200 tuition-free classes to older adults in South Orange County? With over 30-plus locations between Lake Forest and San Clemente, it has never been easier to take advantage of your third act of life. Sign up today.
Managing your own medication can be stressful. For decades, we have watched you stand in line at your local pharmacy and battle with insurance companies, all to be left with the difficult task of organizing, managing, and remembering to take your medication. AmeriPharma offers a new way of simplifying the lives of you and your loved ones.
In previous years, I didn't require any prescriptions, but now I have to take about 7 or 8 due to various conditions. It's a management problem. My nurse told me about AmeriPharma's Med Box. I switched over. Boy, am I glad I did. It's really easy to use and it solved all my problems.
Get your medications delivered to your door. You'll receive your pre-sorted Med Box that easily allows you to tear and take the required medication regimen at the plainly printed date and time. AmeriPharma Med Box, the new standard in medication management.
Dr. Christine Chung with 7-Day Dental has served Laguna Woods for 17 years. Her office is close, her staff is the best, and she offers great discounts for Laguna Woods.
I have been a patient of Dr. Christine Chung at 7-Day Dental for 15 years. She and her staff are exceptional.
You may know me from Village Television. I would not go anywhere else for dental care than 7-Day Dental.
7-Day Dental, simply your best choice.
When you travel with AAA, you get more than a vacation. You get exclusive AAA member benefits, special offers on unforgettable experiences, and the travel planning knowledge of your own AAA travel agent. When you travel with AAA, you get the vacation of your dreams. To save on a pleasant holidays vacation, visit your local AAA travel agent today.
Well, coming up on Thursday, April 19th, Concerned Citizens is going to be celebrating Earth Day over at Clubhouse 1. With me right now is Jonathan Adler of Concerned Citizens and also Wendy Burry of Concerned Citizens, part of the Earthworks Committee. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you both here today. And as I mentioned, coming up this Thursday, you'll be having an event over at Clubhouse 1 to celebrate Earth Day. Is that the actual Earth Day? Isn't it the 22nd?
No, we're celebrating it on the 19th.
Right.
But 22nd is actually
that's
the
what I
real
thought. Yes.
day. But people celebrate it throughout the month, actually.
Right. Okay.
In different times.
And Earth Day goes back, I want to say, how many years now? I'm trying to think back. 40 years? About 40 years?
Yeah,
48 years.
48 years.
1970 was a big year
Yeah.
for the environment. A lot of things happened at that time, but Earth Day started at that time by a Senator Nelson from Wisconsin. Kind of had the idea after the oil spill in California. He was very concerned and decided that we should have an Earth Day. And so it has started in the United States and now is in most of the world. All the many countries and people all over the world are celebrating Earth Day now.
Yeah, and part of it too is, at least locally here, locally meaning here in the community for yours coming up, you're going to have a lot of different exhibitors coming over and having booths, and a lot of them people probably know about. Of course, the City and Sierra Club, El Toro Water District as an example.
Yes, we have different organizations in the community that have to do with the wellness of the earth, whether it's air or water or disposal, waste disposal, or things of that sort. So there will be about 17 different exhibitors.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yes, giving out information about, that people should know about. And because the idea about Earth Day is to educate and to urge people to action, to do things that will keep our earth, our wonderful earth. Right?
But let's also mention food.
That's right. Yes, you're going to have a food drive.
Two aspects of food. One, a food drive.
We have a food drive, so we're asking people to bring non-perishables.
Right. And who will that go to? What agency will be there to pick up the food?
Second Harvest.
Second Harvest. Okay, very good.
But the thing that really Laguna Woods villagers love is the serving refreshments.
Yes.
We'll have healthy refreshments. Healthy refreshments to make your stomach happy.
Okay.
Right.
What are going to be some of those refreshments?
Just vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Now, as you said, it goes back to 1970, and I think obviously.
Well, 70 was a big year because not only was it the start of Earth Day, but the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, different acts were done in 1970, were passed.
Right,
so it was a very healthy year, and even the EPA was set up in 1970. So,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so 70 was a very pivotal year for concern about the earth.
Yeah.
Control of toxic substances, surface mining control, just an explosion of the of legislation and the Endangered Species Act.
Yeah.
Things to protect the environment and its inhabitants. All came about that year in the early 70s that are unfortunately now being under attack.
Now, as far as some of the history involved with this, I didn't realize it started in Wisconsin.
Well,
I should say
the senator.
That would have been the last place I would have guessed.
I know, isn't that interesting?
I would have thought it would have started, here or Oregon, or somewhere like that, or somewhere else in the world. But if I would have had to guess, I never would have said there.
Well, remember where the whole progressive movement of the United States was: the farmer, the Democratic Farmer Labor Party, and And the formation of a lot of progressive activity back in the early decades of this century was in Wisconsin.
Yeah, actually last century.
The last century.
The last century.
You're right,
See, I didn't know that. I always thought it was more, like I said, up in the Pacific Northwest and those areas where a lot of that started. So some of the things you're going to be having there, I mentioned some of the exhibitors that'll be there, and they'll have some booths set up that people can go to and get information. Obviously, like I said, the El Toro Water District, Waste Management, OCTA, the Pacific Marine Mammal Center, which is right down the road, which is a great place that people can visit, may not even know that's there.
I know, a lot of people don't. It's kind of tucked away there.
It is, yeah. Yeah, very nice. And you have the Sierra Club there, and also SCE will be there as well. We were just talking about
talk about protecting the environment. We have a small issue down the coast 19 miles away from here as the crow flies called San Onofre.
Yeah.
A little bit of an environmental challenge and risk. We might talk about that briefly at some point here.
Okay. And as far as people, this is free, it's open to everyone, right? You don't have to be a member of Concerned Citizens.
Even the raffle is free.
Even the raffle is free.
You get a ticket as you come in.
Oh, that's nice.
And hopefully you're lucky.
Yeah, but bring some food.
Because we have wonderful.
Consider bringing food as you're getting your raffle ticket. You know, you don't have to, but I think that would be a nice thing that can go to Second Harvest.
Yes.
I happen to know that we have a couple of great sculptures and a lot of plants to raffle off.
Oh, nice.
So the raffle was worth worth coming
So
for.
again, this is coming up this Thursday, April 19th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Clubhouse 1. You are invited to go there, exhibit booths and raffles, film, and again, I think bring some food, you know, that way Second Harvest can kind of fill their boxes up, and you know, the usual non-perishable things. I think most people know what those are, and help out a little bit there and talk with some of the exhibitors and have a good afternoon, right?
Ken, I think that it really is worth mentioning that Al Gore's second film, called An Inconvenient Sequel, Truth to Power, is an important film. It played in the theaters. It was very well received last summer.
And that'll be at 2 o'clock. That film, am I right? That's what I have on the poster here.
We'll show it at 2. So you have an hour to go around and visit the different exhibitors.
All right.
We will have a Q&A, a discussion after the film. Led by
Tony Pereira, who has been trained by Al Gore's organization. And is going to be there to answer questions, introduce the film, and then answer questions afterwards. So,
all right. Very good. So get on over to Clubhouse 1 on Thursday at 1 o'clock and enjoy a celebration of Earth Day and helping out folks with bringing some food, all kinds of people to speak with and a film to show, and should be a great afternoon.
It should. We're working very hard on it.
Thank you very much, Wendy. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Jonathan, good to see you again.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. We'll be right back. I know you got to go like that.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru, more Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Join the American Parkinson's Disease Association for the Southern California Optimism Walk on Saturday, April 28th, and help raise funds and awareness that will make a difference. Join us at the beautiful South Coast Botanic Garden for a fantastic day filled with inspiration and hope. Register online or call us for more details.
Get out and live your life with the Buzz Around XL travel scooter from Golden. The Buzz Around is fun to drive with a tight indoor turning radius so you can go just about anywhere. It's also so easy to charge and offers all-day range so you can go further. The Buzz Around even has more leg and foot room for all-day driving comfort. Be safe with the XL's ultra-bright LED headlight. Plus, the Buzz Around XL can be easily taken apart into several lightweight pieces. See for yourself just how easy and affordable mobility freedom can be.
Tired of earning only 1, 2, or 3% on your investments? Are you ready for consistent and profitable cash flow? With over 30 years' experience, American Mortgage Fund offers high returns paid monthly. Traditional investments can be ambiguous and volatile. With American Mortgage Fund, your investments are backed by residential and commercial real estate. Take control and diversify your portfolio. Call today for your free investment book.
Over the past 20 years, BreastLink has successfully treated thousands of women across Southern California. Our doctors like Dr. Lisa Curcio have helped women overcome numerous health challenges. With her experience, compassion, and the high quality of care she gives to every patient, Dr. Curcio is also a breast cancer survivor. She offers patients the newest and most effective surgical treatment options. Doctors like Dr. Curcio are the reason BreastLink delivers the care you deserve with the quality you expect. Whether you need us now or later, we're always here.
Well, coming up on Thursday, the Video Club is going to present the critical role of video in NASA project. And Steve Carman is with me today. Not only is he a part of the Video Club, he has a great history with NASA, right?
That's right, yes. I counted them the number of years in my 47-year career. I had 40 of them on NASA projects.
Wow.
And enjoyed it because NASA is unclassified, and I can go home and talk to my wife about what I'm doing. Otherwise, I couldn't.
So where were you working on NASA projects? Was it like a JPL, or did you go to Houston or Florida, or a little bit of everything?
All of the above. I have working for contractors to do the work that I'm going to talk about, and there were 3 or 4 contractors along the way. Martin Marietta, Northrop Grumman was the last, and TRW was bought by them. So between TRW and Northrop, I had 35 years of my career before I retired. And so that was JPL, that was Houston, Cape at Florida, all kinds of different venues.
And of course, the subject of this is the video on NASA. And you know, I think many of us certainly remember, you know, our first real thought of video of NASA was, of course, the moon landing.
That's right.
And
yeah.
There was video before that, but that's, I think, what most people think of, or it's ingrained in their memory. Certainly mine.
Yes, yes. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, as Armstrong put it. I actually have a little clip for that starts with NASA from that landing, and it's kind of funny because it's so grainy and black and white and fuzzy that by today's standards we would consider it pretty crummy video.
Yeah.
But at one point, the guy on the ground, the astronaut, asks the people watching, say, "Well, what's the quality of the TV?" And the guy on the ground says, "Oh, it's great."
Well, we'll play that clip, and you know what's, you know, people, you got to think back, and of course now, you know, they often talk the power that is in your smartphone is like 10 times the power of the onboard computers of what was on Apollo.
Absolutely.
But also you have to think of, when you look at the video of the moon landing and the walk here, first thing I want to ask, was this film? Did they have videotape back then? Or was this a film camera doing this? How, and of course it had to be massive compared to today.
Yeah, no, it was video in the sense we understand video, but the bandwidth was pretty low, so it's pretty
And really, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? It was being. I recall anyway as a kid that seeing live from the moon.
Yeah.
So you had the onboard camera, but the video was being captured back in Houston or wherever.
Sure. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And they would play it back. So compared to the quality that we expect today from video, it was pretty primitive originally.
It was, but at the time it wasn't, because most people at the end of the 1960s still had black and white TVs. You know, having a color TV was kind of a luxury back then.
Yeah.
So in reality, it was pretty impressive. So what was it? You know, the video, of course, the Skylab and Viking and all these different things. I think that overall, at least from my opinion, the video played a critical role in people finding out and knowing about NASA, what they did, and also, in a sense, it was promoting what NASA did as well.
Sure. People enjoyed the space biz and wanted to see what they could see. NASA provided the images, and it was good to be a part of that. So we have mostly animation when you think about it, because we're trying to show how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And the animation that I'm going to be showing, some is on the screen now, the L-Cross, where we discovered water on the moon. And then I'm also going to show samples of the James Webb Space Telescope, which is going to be launched in 2020, the largest telescope ever. And that, to me, is an amazing amount of animation.
Now, is that being launched by NASA?
Yeah.
That is, okay.
It's going to be launched out of French Guiana on an Ariane rocket. And it's located on the equator, which helps. So if you think about the Earth spinning, by launching on the equator, you can take the spin of the Earth as part of your boost.
Yeah.
So that will be the launch. But it's such a complicated, huge array of stuff that had to wrap around the rocket. So the video of how it unfolds is amazing. It's going to take you know, a month or so to just deploy.
Wow.
And then when it ends up, it's going to be 1 million miles from Earth. So there's no such thing as we had on Hubble, where we had some problems, and they went up with the shuttle and were able to have astronauts work on it.
Yeah.
No, not going to happen here.
Yeah.
It's got to work right the first time.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, just out of curiosity, since you spent so much time working on projects for NASA, how do you see NASA today as far as the projects doing? Of course, now you have independent companies, SpaceX and things like that, doing their stuff. Do you think NASA plays less of a role? Do you see some really good things on the horizon for them? Are they still the leader in, you know, in space exploration?
I think they're the leader in setting the goals, the direction we want to go. Companies like SpaceX are doing a wonderful job of helping to keep the cost to a minimum by finding alternate ways to do launch vehicles.
Yeah.
I know Elon Musk is a champion for let's go to Mars.
Yeah.
We've been to Mars. I'm going to talk about my first experience with Viking landing on Mars. It's a long way away.
Yeah.
And so the transmission from there takes, you know, 20 minutes for the signal to get back.
Right.
So if you're going to have a conversation, it would be a real slow
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah.
Well, if you folks want to find out more about this, the Video Club's meeting will be this Thursday at 6:30 in the Video Lab, which is right adjacent to Clubhouse 2. And Steve Carman is going to present the critical role of video in NASA space projects. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. As you can see here, he is just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to NASA, and it should be a really fun evening, and people are going to learn a lot. So I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, Great. Yeah.
Thank you much.
Hope people come out. It's free.
Yeah.
And open to everyone.
We'll have to get you back on again and just talk about NASA. That would be fun.
Sounds good.
All right, Steve, you take care. Always
Thanks,
good.
Ken.
We'll be back.
Did you know hearing loss affects more than just the ears? Hearing loss can impact interpersonal relationships as well as physical, psychological, and cognitive well-being. Straining to hear may cause stress, embarrassment, anxiety, and even fatigue. When all of this becomes too much, people may find that they isolate themselves to avoid conversations. Don't let hearing loss limit your lifestyle. Come visit us at Mission Audiology.
Mother's Day is coming, and Diane's Hallmark is just the place to get Mom a gift that shows how much you care. Our women's department has gifts for that special someone, including clothing, jewelry, Vera Bradley, and Bagolini handbags, Crabtree and Evelyn, and many other great gifts for Mom. Don't forget that our religious department carries a great selection of Christian gifts and Bibles as well. Diane's Hallmark is a Gold Crown store. Come in and experience our personalized service. We're located on Alicia Parkway next to Hobby Lobby.
At El Toro Pharmacy, your health needs and your quality of life is our top priority. We can be trusted with all your prescription needs, delivered free to your doorstep. Call us to have your prescription transferred. We will take care of everything. No hassle to you. We are a full-service pharmacy carrying all your over-the-counter medicines at competitive prices. And we offer complete diabetic care and your immunization requirements too. Under new management, come visit us in Moulton Plaza. El Toro Pharmacy will never be undersold, and we offer the finest after-sales services.
Hey, it's not my birthday. Whose birthday is it?
It's just a reminder.
A reminder of what?
The birthday rule. Anyone that has a Medicare insurance supplement plan, they can change that plan on their birthday month. It's part of the guarantee issue period. Each company has different premium rates. They could save money.
Saving money? What a great birthday present.
It sure is. As independent insurance brokers, we can help educate you so you make the right Medicare choices.
Give us a call.
Dr. Trin is with me, and of course, he is one of the leaders in researching Alzheimer's disease and the causes of Alzheimer's. Good to see you, Iggy.
Good to see you.
As always.
Yeah.
So you have kind of talked about this before, and we're going to go over it again, and you call it the 3 buckets of the causes of Alzheimer's, kind of the 3 factors that you say may lead to having Alzheimer's, and maybe things that people can some ways control, right?
Yes, definitely. These 3 buckets, I bring them up very often in my lectures because folks are wondering why we don't have a cure or better treatment in the last 15 years. The medications we have FDA approved for Alzheimer's, I can count in one hand. There's actually 4, and it's been 15 years since we had a new medications approved.
Wow. Wow. Is there a reason for that?
Exactly. The reasons is in the 3 buckets.
Okay.
And when I say 3 buckets, what this means is that there isn't just 3 causes for Alzheimer's, but there's probably 3 large buckets of which all the factors associated with Alzheimer's flow into with that. And it's an easy analogy where rather than telling folks there's over 30 plus factors associated with Alzheimer's, these 30 plus factors fall into 3 buckets.
Okay.
And quick review, the 3 buckets are essentially the circulation bucket, the inflammation bucket, and what I call the toxins bucket.
Okay. And I know you've talked about those before. When it comes to circulation, I think people kind of understand that one the best because they're thinking about blood flow and heart disease and
exactly
clogging of the arteries and things like that.
Exactly. Right? The circulation bucket is simply any condition that causes poor circulation to the heart or to the body. Will also cause poor circulation up to the brain and is a contributor to Alzheimer's disease. If I took 10 patients with Alzheimer's, 8 have high blood pressure.
Okay.
Circulation problem.
Yeah.
If I took 10 patients with Alzheimer's, 4 have diabetes. Circulation issue.
Right.
If I took 10 patients with Alzheimer's, 2 or 3 will have heart disease, and a bunch or a whole lot will have high cholesterol. The same risk factors for heart disease are exactly the same risk factors for Alzheimer's. Very scary when you see the correlation of why that is, and that's all in the circulation bucket.
Okay.
It's so important that actually, I think it was either a week or 2 weeks ago, study published from Europe, and it just blew my mind looking at these results from the study. This is a 44-year study.
Wow. Wow.
They followed women. The researchers tracked women who started these studies in their 40s, age 40s. 44 years later, these ladies are now in their 80s.
Yeah.
and this falls under the circulation bucket. What they have recognized is that the ladies who were consistently exercising compared to the ladies who were not exercising, after tracking them for 40-something years, the ladies who were exercising had an 88% lower risk of Alzheimer's diagnosis.
Wow. That's amazing.
Looking back in over 40 years. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Something that can be, almost a 90% change in this one study of prevention, really, is what we're looking at.
That's amazing.
And it's really amazing. It just kind of blew my mind that the data is what was showed. And this is why I bring up these 3 buckets all the times, because these are things that we can do in our lifestyle to lower and minimize our risk. With studies like this, it just brings back more evidence that lifestyle change makes a difference. And that's just one bucket.
Yeah, it would be nice if people who went in after a certain age and get their annual checkup, so to speak, there was something that I think one of the hardest things are people getting easily tested for some of this. I just saw recently they're now using sort of an ultrasound they can use on the, I don't know what these are called, the neck. But it would be nice that every year you go in, that's just part of your wellness check, or something that tells people, here's your status right now. I think that's one of the hardest things. You get your blood test and you get high cholesterol and that sort of thing. But it would be nice if that became part of, after a certain age, every year this is your wellness check. We're going to check your circulation throughout your body, your heart, and more than just drawing your blood.
Yes, and we do some of that. When we look at blood pressure, we look at these various risk factors that can affect circulation, but we can always do a better job. And it's funny because we do annual physicals. We don't often focus these annual physicals on the brains.
No,
I mean, who
not
does
at all.
Memory testing or brain health physicals?
You do.
I do. I do at no cost.
Yes.
But this needs to be out in the community.
I believe. I think it should be part of an annual checkup after maybe a certain age. And as you have said, catching it early is the main thing. Let's talk about inflammation. I think this is the hardest one. Toxins, I think people kind of get. But inflammation, people go, well, does that mean people have arthritis? Which can happen at any age, even in children. If your feet are swelling a lot, that's more of an obvious thing. But inflammation is like, well, what does that mean?
Great question. Inflammation, when I have a fever, if I had the flu, a virus, pneumonia, whatever it is, when I have a fever, that's inflammation. Inflammation is designed to protect yourself, created by your body's own immune system to create an environment when you have a fever that makes it hard for a bacteria or a virus to live in. That's inflammation, not a bad thing, designed to protect the body. What happens though is, what happens if I have this fever every day of the year? Is that good or bad? So obviously inflammation, when it becomes chronic, is a bad thing. It's like in war, it's like friendly fire. You shoot the bad guy, and then you shoot the good guys by accident.
Right.
That's
and that's what
chronic
happens, like
inflammation.
in not Alzheimer's, but what happens in arthritis or many of the
conditions.
many conditions.
You
like
know
that,
what's
yeah.
funny is that we have an underlying condition of chronic inflammation. All we do is we throw different diagnoses at it.
Yeah.
For example, inflammation of the lungs. What are some conditions that are inflammation of the lungs?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing we think of is maybe like bronchitis
Right.
and pneumonia. So that's inflammation, right?
Yeah.
Allergic asthma. That's inflammation of the lungs. That's
Yeah.
simply your immune system building too much mucus when it
Right.
responds to something it doesn't like cold air-induced asthma,
Okay, right.
exercise-induced asthma. So all I did was I threw a diagnosis at inflammation of the lungs. Inflammation of the skin.
Yeah.
Name me some names.
Yeah, like you're getting a rash, or you get
dermatitis,
psoriasis, and yeah,
psoriasis.
Yeah.
So eczema, right?
Yeah.
All I did was through different diagnoses of an underlying inflammatory condition of the skin.
Right, right.
Inflammation of the GI tract. You've heard of Crohn's disease.
Right,
You've heard of
exactly.
ulcerative colitis. All I did was I took an underlying condition, inflammation, and I threw a diagnosis at it.
All right,
Isn't that crazy?
we're running out of time,
Yeah.
so we won't have time for the toxins, but I think a lot of people, whether it's the food you eat, the air we breathe.
Exactly.
But we have, we got to get you back to talk a little bit more in depth about this.
Yes, very important
Because
stuff.
we're running out of time right now, so I apologize.
Love it. No, not a problem.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on. healthybrainclub.org.com. And you can go on there and you can get a free consultation with Dr. Tren, and I recommend that. He's a good guy, does good work. All right, tomorrow on this day, we have the Bridge Club, Saddleback Church, the Tea Party Sentinels, and also Cart Mart. What's Cart Mart? We'll find out about it tomorrow. Take care. We'll see you then.
Mama used to